Recently, I told my brother, Amal, he keeps coming up quite a bit. I kind of consider him to be the cook in the kitchen a little bit because he's taught me a lot about shooting video and creating media. I recently told him that I wanted to create some quote unquote fanboy content and to kind of build the channel out in that direction to see what happens when I do that. So I actually looked it up before starting this broadcast, and there is a definition online of what a fanboy is. So according to Google, a fanboy, you know what? I'll just do the screen share. Shout out to the scientist supreme, Nicole Ali. She taught me how to do this. I'm still learning StreamYard. Fanboy. A fanboy is a male fan, especially one who is obsessive about comic books, music, movies, or science fiction. See, I didn't even know that you could throw music in there. So I didn't know that a fanboy included music as well, but it turns out that it does. So I very much, while people know me as Dr. Dunbar, and at my job, we all, we wear certain personas and masks at our jobs and throughout society. But I'm very much a fanboy. I grew up on Star Wars. I grew up on Star Trek. I watched G.I. Joe. I watched the Transformers. I watched Thundercats and all of those things when I was growing up. And right around middle school, probably before middle school in the 80s, we were into comic books. I collected more DC comic books. My brother collected more Marvel comic books. Our best friend was a Marvel guy. Shout out to the G-Dog out in AZ. He was more of a Captain America guy. And we had the toys, the Transformers, the G.I. Joes. I don't know if I had any Thundercats, but I know that I had the Transformers and G.I. Joes and some He-Man figures. And before that, Star Wars. I had an X-Wing fighter and a couple of the Luke Skywalker figurines and action figures. And I had a Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I had my share of the Transformers, and I had an Optimus Prime. Shout out to the Lewis brothers for Amir and the Lewis brothers for breaking the arm off my Optimus Prime toy. That was another family. The Lewis brothers, their mom was my mother's best friend, and we did a sleepover, and they slept over our spot, and I had my Optimus Prime. It was one of my favorite toys, and they were a mischievous group. And I remember I left the room. It was a Friday night, and I came back, and they were fighting over my Optimus Prime, and they broke the arm off my Optimus Prime. So shout out to the Lewis boys and their older brother, Amir Willis, for that lasting impression. So I want to build out more fan base, more fanboy content, and maybe start to build a channel out that way. And so for this live stream, I'm going to take a look back at the 1986 Transformers movie, one of the most important movies of my childhood. And I'll describe why. My style and approach.